I'm at 3. So these notes go along with the go from 9.2. All right. So I kind of took the different kinds of questions from the go, changed the numbers around to give you guys some examples so that you'll be able to complete the go on your own. So it says the first one is, what is 1/4 of 1/2? So one thing I want to point out is, notice how these are both fractions, right? 1/4 is equal to 1/4, and 1/2 is equal to 1/2. All right. When they ask you something like this, what is 1/4 of 1/2, where it's two fractions? Actually, there should have been little dashes there. Um, when it's two fractions, all you're going to do is multiply them. You're going to do 1/4 times 1/2. And in this case, your answer would be 1/8. All right. The next question is, what percent is 7/16 slash write 7/16 as a percent? Okay. Um, so there's kind of two ways you can do this. We can write this fraction. So we have 7/16. And basically what a percent means, right? If you kind of break it apart, it's per cent, right? Per goes with the fraction bar. Cent means 100. So percent always means out of 100. So one thing you can do is set up a um, proportion here, and you would just cross multiply. Obviously, your percent would go over the 100, right? And you can kind of see here we're using this proportion setup, right? We have our fraction, which a fraction is part over a whole, and we're setting that equal to our percent over 100. So you would cross multiply, so we get 700 equals 16x, and you would divide. So 700 divided by 16 gives me 43.75%. Now, another way you could do this when you're given just a fraction, you're able to take the fraction. This is just a different method, you should get the same answer. You take the fraction, which is 7/16, and you just multiply that by 100. So you would do 7 divided by 16, and then times that by 100. And 7 divided by 16 times 100. Yes, and you get the same answer of 43.75%. So that's two ways to calculate a percent from a fraction. I tend to find that this way is easier, but use whichever method you prefer. All right, so now for these last ones, I'm going to heavily refer to this, okay? This trick kind of teaches you exactly where to put the numbers into this proportion. So whichever number is associated with is goes on top of the fraction, of goes on the bottom of the fraction, the percent goes over the 100. Okay, so you have to kind of figure out, actually, I'll bring this down here. You have to figure out what you're solving for out of this proportion. So if we're looking at this next, it says, what is 75% of 90? So if you notice, they're saying, what is? We're searching for the is. We're going to put an X at the is. Then they tell us 75%. Well, that's our percentage. So we're going to put 75 over 100. And then we have of 90. Of goes on the bottom. So that is how you set up your proportion. Again, you just look, okay, well, is goes on top, of goes on the bottom, percent goes over 100. Then we go ahead and do our cross multiplication. So we get 100x equals, and you're going to do 75 times 90, which is 7,000, or I'm sorry, 6,750. You divide by 100, and you end up with 67.5. All right, so let's try the next one. 30 is 20% of what number? All right, so 30 is our is, 20 is our percentage, and of course, we're looking for of what, right? We're looking for the of. So we go ahead, we cross multiply. We get 3,000 equals 20x. Divide by 20, and you get Sorry, my AirPod fell out. I'm still trying to figure out how to use these things. You get 150. And then the last one we got, what percent is 20 of 140? So again, refer to this little, oops, that's not what I want here. That works. All right, so we have what is 20 of 140? So our is 20, our of is 140, and they're asking for the percent. So we're going to put an X in the percent. I'm going to cross multiply. You get 2,000 equals 140x. You divide, cross multiply and divide. 2,000 divided by 140 gives you 14.2857. We'll just round it to 14.3. So that is how you would do that one.